First things first, I want to get back into it, and I've been watching your career for a while now, and it seems like I kind of want to go back in time to 2017 and Dana White's Contender Series because it feels like after that fight, you just flipped a switch in your career. Like something changed, and you got on a roll, and obviously you are where you are now. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about what you feel like the turning point was in your career, whether it was 2017 or what was that moment that you kind of flipped that switch?
Um, Definitely after the Contender Series, and then after I fought Ed Roof in Bellator, it was like like I was like I made a promise to myself, an agreement that I'm not gonna lose again. Made that agreement after that fight. I didn't care what it was. I wasn't gonna lose again. Because these fights, it felt like I was beating myself. It wasn't my opponent that I was beating. Same thing on the Contender Series. Same thing on the Ultimate Fighter. It was just me, I had to kind of like regather and come back again instead of moving too fast. I have to just slow it down and work on being composed. So, you know, that was like a turning point for me in my career.
And when it comes to you mentally, like, were you kind of forced to make kind of like a mental shift in terms of the way you approach fight prep or your camp or anything like that, or what were some of the changes that you felt like you had to make?
Um, just being a little more consistent, as far as getting rid of all the distraction, as far as like, work outside life outside of fighting, and create like a short term to support my long term goals. And that was kind of like the distraction part, staying focused and apply it in a fight. And I remember doing the Ultimate Fighter too, what Vitor Belfort said to me, just stick with me, you only have to focus for 15 minutes or 25 minutes. After then, you know, that's it. That's it. Just focus for 15. If you could just focus for 15 or 25 minutes, your life's gonna change forever. And I just thought about that, how quick 15 minutes goes by. It goes by really fast, not long. So, I apply that throughout life.
And in hindsight too, because obviously you come from humble beginnings, you've spoken about it a lot in a lot of other interviews. In hindsight, do you feel like the way you grew up and the environment, the small tight knit community, kind of helped you to learn how to deal with adversity and to kind of overcome certain things in life to kind of be where you are today?
Yes, my upbringing definitely kind of like, helped me to channel some of these things that's actually going on in my life. I had a rough upbringing from Jamaica coming to United States, land of opportunity. And my dream was to build my mom a house and help my family come from Jamaica to the United States. And growing up in Jamaica it was rough. We lived in a small village where it's not touristic or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of bush. And once I kind of like applied that type of living to the city life over here, it was kind of everything become easier for me, I felt. So I had to tap back into my roots and start doing like small jobs like tree trimming and washing cars and selling coconut, stuff like that. Once I started applying it now, I realized that the city boy life was easy.
And I want to ask you about that too, because I think another thing that makes you really unique is that you have so many side jobs and things that you do outside of fighting too to balance everything out and kind of keep you grounded too. Do you feel like that kind of helps you to kind of stay grounded and stay humble and stay focused?
100%. Because going out there in a hot day in South Florida and cut down a tree from a homeowner who, like, they don't give a shit about who I am or even take in. They just want their tree cut down, and they don't want you to destroy their property or anything. So it takes a lot of focus and a strong will of mindset, especially being like overworked, overtooled, You know what I'm saying? That I don't have enough under equipped. Yeah, being under equipped. When I don't have enough equipment to like the machine or something to pick up the branches and stuff like that. It takes a lot of will and courage to get through it. You know what I'm saying? And climbing trees that's 100 feet up in the air, anything could happen from 1 minute to the next. A lightning could strike and take you out, or a heart attack, something of that nature. So once I learned how to conquer those fear, that was the limit going into the cage. You know what I'm saying? My mindset was a lot more stronger. And doing work inside the cage and I mean outside the cage, like, picking up branches and stuff like that. When I come inside the gym and work out, picking up body weight was kind of easy for me.
And with the tree cutting business, do you ever run into homeowners that know who you are, or do most of the people not know who you are or recognize you at all?
Not that I don't think they know who I am,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones that who like I do work for over and over, they kind of understand and follow me and be like, okay, all right, cool. They kind of respect me. But at first, no. But after, you know what I'm saying, the same customer I go back and do work for. So they kind of got an idea and follow me throughout the years and see my work and realize that I'm not half-assed, you know what I'm saying? I come there and do my work and they respect me.
And what's kind of your message to those that may be watching this interview right now in Jamaica that are, they have a dream, they have a goal, and they're just trying to figure out a way to and a path to really carve out to get there. Like, what is your message to them to really, work towards something when at times maybe it feels like all hope is lost?
Never give up. Never give up on your dreams, you know, because once you put it out there and manifest it, it will come true. Keep believing because they say faith can move mountains as long as you believe. Keep believing and don't be afraid to be wrong. Throw your dreams out there. Don't be afraid to be wrong. It's okay. It's okay.
And I want to switch gears a little bit here and kind of talk to you a little bit about your experience at Killcliff FC. And obviously, with all the guys that you train with down there, it's got to be a great experience. But I want to ask you a little bit about Robbie Lawler, too, because I've seen a couple of Instagram posts that you've had of him working with you, getting ready for this fight, and some of your other fights, too. What is he like as a coach versus as a fighter? Like, how would you describe his coaching style?
He's better at it as a coach and a fighter because he's able to tap into abilities you would never think he have. Like his wrestling is great. And Robbie don't talk too much or he don't say much, but when he do say something, it sticks because it's so meaningful. I call him the Professor Xavier of our team, like the X-Men. He is that guy, the guy in the wheelchair. He is very smart. He could read your mind. He could tell what you need, just a little detail. He knows. He don't really try to like tell you too much, and he just said little things, and you just like, man, this guy's so smart, man. And I wish if he would have fight the way he coached, because you know what I'm saying. The way he fight, he go in there, he knock people out, which is great, for TV and UFC. But the way he coach, he could do it all. He could do it all, from jiu-jitsu to wrestling to kicking to punching. He could do it all, man.
Outside of fighting, what do you feel like are some of the biggest lessons, just in life that you've taken away from working with a guy like that has had so many life experiences in and out of the cage? Like, what are some of the biggest things that you've taken away?
Like I learned how to be humble just being around Robbie because he don't say too much, but if he like you, you will say he will talk. You know what I'm saying? And with him, ain't no bitch in him at all, and he don't put up with no fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Is patient is small for that, and I learned that. You know what I'm saying? And he don't give up. And it teaches me to be tough, like to be tough like him. You know what I'm saying? He teach me how to be gritty and nasty because he don't talk to people that's not, you know what I'm saying, can't relate to him.
And one thing that's really stood out about you specifically, I'd say probably over your last 3 or 4 fights is that you've won each of those fights in a different way, it seems like, right? In terms of, really showcasing your versatility. Do you talk to me a little bit about like film prep and all that stuff? Because I know you watch a lot of film in preparation for your fights. Like, how much of those experiences watching film and being studious has really helped you, round out your own game and really balance out your skill set?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff I take from Kamaru Usman, man. You know, he do whatever it takes and what's necessary to get the job done. And I've learned that over the years, you know, and I just give and take, you know what I'm saying? Whatever is good for me and what I could use. I'm not an egoistic type of fighter where, oh, it need to be this way. I just do whatever it takes.
And now that you have, I mean, now multiple titles. Obviously, you have the Bellator title. You have the Super Champ title that you won against in the PFL versus Bellator event. What what's like that next motivation at this stage of your career? Like, what really fires you up to keep fighting in the gym and keep moving forward? Because obviously, you've won a world title. You're getting ready to defend it now. Like, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you grounded?
The doubts. Even when there's no doubt, I will create that doubt. There's something about me. Even if when somebody's not doubting me, I will create it to push myself. I'm self-motivated that way. I am. I could tell you that, you know what I'm saying? I will find a way to put myself in that little space.
And when you look at your upcoming opponent too, obviously, 12-0 record, do you kind of see the prospect of not only defending your title but also handing him his first loss? Do you kind of see that as an added motivation for you as you get ready for this fight?
I'm not really thinking so far about the title defense and giving his first
Hmm.
loss. I'm just thinking about beating his ass because, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I'm being disrespectful. I'm being disrespected, you know what I'm saying? As far as like they think this guy gonna beat me, and that's why I tell you I find ways to put myself in that place where I have to overcome adversity. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, this guy think he's gonna beat me. The promoter think that this guy gonna beat me. That's why I put him in front of me. Okay, I'm gonna prove to myself, and once I prove to myself, then they will know.
Absolutely, man. Well, Jason, once again, I really do appreciate the time, man. It's great to meet you. Good to chat with you. Before we get out of here and wrap things up, I want to give you the platform to shout out any sponsors you're working with, your team, social media if you want, all that good stuff. I'll give you the final word.
Hey, follow me on social media outlet Jackson Jason 150. That's my Instagram and Facebook Jason Jackson 150. And on Twitter, I don't be on Twitter much, but I'm pretty sure it's Jason Jackson 150 as well. And thank you so much for having me.